Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, reaching for your wallet, and discovering that 10% of your physical cash had vanished overnight. You would probably be furious. You check your bank accounts, retrace your steps, and call the police to report a robbery. But that exact percentage of your wealth is actually being taken from you every single year. Nobody is breaking into your house to steal your physical bills. Instead, the money sitting in your accounts is quietly deteriorating in value. This is the reality of inflation. It acts as a silent process designed to reduce your wealth steadily without ever triggering your natural alarm bells. Meet John. He works a stable office job, earns exactly $4,000 a month, and follows all the standard financial advice by saving $1,000 of every paycheck. He has traditional goals. He wants to buy a house, start a family, and eventually retire comfortably. For a while, his life feels predictable. The prices at his neighborhood grocery store are stable. Milk is $3, bread is $2, and gas stays right around $3 a gallon. A year passes, and John receives a text from his boss. He's getting a raise. His salary is increasing by 3%. He feels optimistic until his next trip to the store. The milk is now $3.30. Bread is $2.25. Over the next few months, he notices his rent, utilities, and even movie tickets have all increased in price. John finds himself facing a mathematical mystery. His paycheck is objectively larger, yet he functionally has less money at the end of every month. To understand John's situation, we have to look at purchasing power. This is the physical amount of goods and services that a specific unit of currency can actually acquire. This chart shows John's macroeconomic reality. His 3% wage increase is competing against a 7% increase in the cost of living. The net result? John is operating at a 4% deficit in real wealth. He is actively losing ground. It's like trying to walk up a descending escalator. You put in the effort, taking steps forward, but the system moves in the opposite direction. Earning a higher nominal salary makes no difference if your purchasing power shrinks faster than your wage grows. In real terms, a raise under these conditions makes you poorer. In a simple microeconomy with 10 apples and $10, the equilibrium price is $1 per apple. Inject 10 additional dollars without producing new apples, and twice as much money chases the same goods. The price adjusts to $2 per apple. The apples did not increase in intrinsic value. They are the exact same apples. What happened is that the currency lost half of its value due to an oversupply of bills. On a macroeconomic scale, governments do this intentionally. When an economy slows down, they increase the money supply to stimulate spending, encourage hiring, and prevent a total economic stall. Injecting money acts as vital medicine to keep the system moving in a crisis. But prolonged use of that medicine permanently dilutes the value of every single dollar already in your pocket. Let's look at the ultimate point of pride for a responsible saver like John. Over a decade, he manages to accumulate exactly $100,000, keeping it perfectly safe in a risk-free bank account. Applying a conservative 3% inflation rate to that stagnant cash pile over a 10-year timeline reveals devastating math. The account balance still reads $100,000, but it now only possesses the purchasing power of $74,000. Traditional saving without compound growth guarantees a mathematical loss. Inflation does not care about your account balance. It targets your purchasing power. While everyday savings shrink, the exact same economic conditions often cause stock markets and real estate prices to decline rapidly. The distinction comes down to what you hold. Cash is a depreciating medium of exchange. Assets, on the other hand, absorb inflation and increase in nominal value as prices rise. This dynamic acts as a structural wedge in the economy. It violently accelerates wealth inequality, separating ordinary workers holding cash from wealthy investors holding assets. Inflation is not a neutral force that impacts everyone equally. It operates with a deep asymmetry, systematically rewarding ownership while penalizing savings. John eventually recognizes this pattern and changes his philosophy. He abandons his fixation on the size of his paycheck and begins prioritizing the acquisition of assets and long-term investments. He realizes that the ultimate defense against economic shifts is measuring his personal wealth strictly through the lens of purchasing power, not static numbers in a bank account. The invisible thief of inflation operates out in the open, but it relies entirely on the public's misunderstanding of how money functions to succeed. Markets will fluctuate, and economic policies will change. But building a foundational understanding of monetary mechanics is the one asset that inflation can never erode.